Welcome to today's lesson on capitalization. Now, I'm not even going to mention the fact that you use a capital letter at the start of the sentence. Well, there it is. I've said it already. That's the easy part. There are actually a number of curious cases, confusing cases. Just turn that off so it's quiet. Confusing cases when you might need a capital letter or might not need a capital letter. And we'll look at some of those on the board in a second. But basically we use capitals with nouns, proper nouns, not all nouns, proper nouns. And by that I mean names. Anytime you use the name of something, you need a capital letter. It could be the name of a city, it could be the name of a county, of a country, it could be the name of an institution, it could be the name of an organisation, it could be the name of a planet, or it could be the name of a day or a month. All of those situations require capital letters. So I have a few examples here. Dave, the National Gallery, which is a famous art gallery in London. The Royal Air Force, which is the British Air Force, the Air Force in Britain, and it's a name. If you just say the Air Force, you won't use capitals. But as soon as you say the Royal Air Force, you mean the RAF, which is the abbreviation we often use for the British Air Force. And so remember that anytime you use a name like the Royal Navy, it would be exactly the same thing. But the Navy, if you're talking about different navies in different countries, you're unlikely to use a capital. It's only when you're referring to the name. So I've got more examples. Monday, February, the 5th of November, Good Friday. All of these are the names of days or month, but even the 5th of November, notice we use a capital F with 5th. And Good Friday, we use capitals for both of those. Mount Everest is a famous mountain. It's the name of a mountain. The same with Lake Superior or something like that. Lake Superior is the name, and so we must use capital letters. The Hoover Dam. Notice, by the way, that we don't use a capital on the part. The 5th of November, the Royal Air Force, the Hoover Dam. The is without a capital each time. And also London, Essex, and the North. Now be careful with compass points. Usually they're not capitalized. If you say that the wind came from the south, the breeze came from the south, the wind came from the south, and you mean from that direction, then you just use a small letter. But if you're using the word the north to mean a region, it could be a region on a weather map, it could be a political region, then you'd certainly use a capital because it's the name of a region. So compass points can be confusing. Let me quickly now go through some of these comparisons. Compare the Orthodox Church with a capital C and an Orthodox Church with a little c. The first one means the institution, the Orthodox Church. So if you say the Catholic Church or the Orthodox Church, you'll need a capital C. But if you're talking about an Orthodox church in the centre of the town or a Catholic church in the suburbs, you're talking about just a building, and for that reason you just have a little c. But you'll still have a capital for Catholic or Orthodox because that's the name of the religion. So it depends whether you're talking about the institution, like here it's the institution, or you're talking about a building, in which case it would just have a little c if you're talking about a building, a church. Okay? Now look at number 2. I live in the southeast with capital letters because the southeast is the name of the region that I live in. Like Essex is the name of the county, the southeast is the name of a region, very often referred to for politics and also for areas on a weather map. So be careful with compass points. Also, look at the second example. The West put pressure on the Soviet Union. Notice that the West is capitalized. Now, it's because we don't mean just anybody in the West. We mean the countries which usually fall under this particular name, because it's a name here, it's being used as a name, and it perhaps means Europe and the United States, perhaps Canada as well. It refers to those countries, and we're talking about the Cold War in this sentence, and perhaps, well, it must be because it's the Soviet Union, and so we're talking about the East and the West not as points on a compass but as political entities, and it's a name for that political entity. So then we would use a capital letter. But the breeze came from the south, meaning just the compass point, just that direction. When you just mean that direction,